Welcome into First News on 570. He joins us every single Monday at 8:23. He would be Dr. Nathaniel Cogley from Tarleton State University. Morning, Doc. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Mark. Nice to be here.
Great to have you with us. Special thanks again for hanging out with us last Tuesday night for our primary election coverage on Super Tuesday. I think it turned out great. Got a lot of great comments from folks, and I know I had a good time for sure. Let's talk San Francisco for a minute because there's some bad news for Nancy Pelosi in her home district, but it's got nothing to do with Republicans. So what's the scoop on this?
Yes, I've been talking about this possibility for a while. In California's top two system, it's not necessarily a Republican versus a Democrat in November.
Okay.
It's whoever gets the top two. It's all the primary candidates are on a single ballot. Whoever gets the top two goes on the ballot regardless of party affiliation.
Right.
So in very Democratic districts, you can get two Democrats in the top two. Mm-hmm. So California has 53 representative districts. In this cycle, six of these districts are going to have Democrat versus Democrat matchups in November.
Wow.
There are no districts where there'll be a Republican versus Republican matchup. So for the first time in her career, Nancy Pelosi is going to experience one of these Democrat versus Democratic matchups. What's interesting here is that her challenger is an avowed Democratic socialist, Bernie Sanders supporter. And I've heard him talk. I've heard him in some interviews and some speeches. He's very articulate. Mm-hmm. He has a law degree from Stanford. This is going to start coming on the radar of people in San Francisco who haven't been paying attention. If we look at the results for the presidential primary, Bernie Sanders had 32.5%. Elizabeth Warren had 23.5%. Between the two of them, that's 56% of San Franciscans who are willing to vote for a Sanders or Warren. So this gentleman who came in second place, his name's Shahid Buttar, he has a lot of room for growth. He only got 12.7% in the first round. A majority is an outright victory in the top two system. Both top two go, regardless of percentages. So he was at 12.7% first round. He's got a lot of room for growth. Nancy Pelosi has a big headache on her heads from now till November.
So do you think, is this someone who is backed by an AOC candidate? Is that who this is?
Well, he will be, and he could be backed by Bernie, and you can imagine if Bernie gets frustrated at the convention and gets shut down, he has to endorse Biden. Him and his movement are going to look for other places to make an impact.
Right.
Ousting the Speaker of the House is huge. It's going to be huge. And so, especially if Bernie's not the candidate, not the nominee for president, there's a lot of money that's going into Bernie's campaign. There's a lot of people willing to donate to Bernie, and they're going to look for somewhere to put their money that can make an impact. And I just think ousting the speaker is just a big target that the Democratic Socialists would love to accomplish.
That is a kind of a monumental task, to say the least. We've got about just a little over a minute left here, Doc, and I just wanted to kind of get in Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, Washington, and Idaho. They are all going to the primary polls tomorrow. North Dakota will be having Democratic caucuses. Real quickly, I'm just going to name the states, and you tell me which way you think that they are going to end up going here. Michigan.
Michigan is very close. Hillary polled well, but then Bernie won a narrow victory. I think Jesse Jackson's endorsement is big. That one's going to be very close. Bernie can do well there.
Okay. Missouri.
Missouri is another one that was very close last time. I think Hillary won by 0.2%. It's going to be close, but maybe Biden can pull that out.
Okay. Mississippi?
It's going to be a big Biden state.
Okay. Washington?
So Washington, Bernie won last time, but it was a caucus last time. It's now switching to a primary, and that's going to be better for Biden to have a primary than a caucus. Bernie's people do as well. But Bernie has a shot there.
Okay. And then Idaho?
Idaho, it was also a caucus last time and was now switching to a primary, but Bernie has a shot in all these very northern countries.
Okay, and then finally, North Dakota is going to be having their Democratic caucuses, and what are we thinking about North Dakota?
It's great for Bernie. North caucus, everything he'd want, and they're one of only 4 caucuses left in the Democratic cycle.
There we go. Dr. Nathaniel Cogley joins us every single Monday at 8:23. Doc, we certainly appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.